And a good Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to the WillzWorld Radio Show and No Next Sports Talk Live and on Hot Mix VA and wherever else you may be watching, listening to, or what have you. We are in Tappahannock, Virginia. 1 year ago today, well, not today, but at some point or another around this time 1 year ago, No Next Sports Talk Live was at St. Margaret's, broadcasting the home opener of the girls' basketball team, the first ever live play-by-play basketball broadcast, and what have you. We did not know that the students and the faculty would find out that the school we all know and love, would be closing this fall. A school home to a recent state championship team, part of a cultural academic history, would have to close their doors before this fall, which it did. Tonight there's a foundation that is established, a new hope to keep this historic school open once again. Tonight we welcome in the St. Margaret's Foundation, Jovita and Valorie.
Hi.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't be shy. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
All right, guys. Tell the crowd, tell the viewers, tell the listeners about yourselves real quick before we get into the questions of how you guys are reestablishing St. Margaret's, so to speak.
Absolutely. So my name is Valorie, and I born and raised in this area, from this area, and was an alumna of St. Margaret's and worked at St. Margaret's as the academic dean last year. So I got to witness that incredible basketball season and watch our state championships.
I still got the shirt on.
Yeah, it's great to see you with the shirt on. And so I was there for doing that, and then have just continued to work with the foundation and stayed there. But that's who I am.
Jovita?
I'm Jovita Kelly. I'm on Woman to Woman show.
Yes. Y'all remember Woman to Woman show on Hot Mix VA.
I'm a proud parent of a previous St. Margaret student that was the manager for the basketball team. So she was probably with you on all of those different times. And I am the president of Historic Downtown Tappahannock.
How about that?
And I'm Essex County's Christmas mother this year. So I think everybody pretty much knows me.
The Christmas mama of 2025, y'all. I'm just saying.
So I was working at St. Margaret's. Was with St. Margaret's for 12 years. With my daughter there, and I worked as a math teacher and a dorm adult, and I most recently ended in advancement and development, helping to bring in new students.
How about that? And y'all had students that was on wait lists across the world just to get to St. Margaret's. And, you hear the girls from the basketball team talk about how they were so excited coming from their countries just to get here. So there is something special, guys, about St. Margaret's that's been here for over 100 years. And what I want to know is, when did you guys actually first started the foundation? It was almost immediate, right?
Almost. The foundation actually was formed in July, and we were approved to be a nonprofit organization soon after that.
Right.
But there was another group that had been formed previously that was already fighting just to keep St. Margaret's open, which is what most people were familiar with. So we're not really that group that was fighting the legal battle part of it. We were more of another nonprofit form to open the school, make it part of our community again, and hopefully get the girls back.
Good.
Yeah, we miss them.
Yeah. I miss the hardened battles of field hockey between St. Margaret's and Northumberland already, and of course basketball. So, what would be, when you reopen this, what would be the mission and purpose of the new opening? I'll say the new opening of the school. The school won't be new, but
what we need to do is just obviously bring girls back in.
Right.
Most of our girls obviously had to go to other schools, Many of those girls, especially the basketball girls, would have been seniors this year. So we won't have them again. But we are looking to bring new girls in.
Right.
And along with that is just continuing the tradition of Episcopalian all-girls education and just continue that tradition of what St. Margaret's was for 104 years.
That's a very long time.
And just pouring into what that means for girls, for their futures in college prep, having them as well-rounded individuals, gaining independence, helping them with sports, all of those things.
And you had girls from across the world waitlisted to get to Tappahannock just to go to St. Margaret's. Was that still the case when they closed?
So I wouldn't say that they were waitlisted because there's a lot of complications with that situation. So we had space for them. We had open enrollment space for them. But because international students have to go through different barriers, I think Jovita is definitely the one that can speak better on what those barriers were.
And it takes a process for them to get here. So for a domestic student, a student that lives in Tappahannock, right? If your daughters wanted to come, it's a 2-week process. You come to school, you visit, you fill out the application, you get in. But for our international students, it's a longer process. They become sort of family to you by the time you finish. I mean, like most of those girls, I've talked to them almost every day because there's a time difference from where they are. So they're messaging me on WhatsApp at 11 o'clock at night because it's 5 o'clock in the morning for them, you know. And they've got to go through paperwork, documentation, funding, and to get everything in line for them to get here. And so, you know, you talked about it being a special place. It is a definite special place. And, you know, I think that, at least for me and a lot of people that I know, it's missed because those girls added something, I think, to Essex County community when they were out and about that people didn't realize that they were bringing to them because, you know, there were Serbian girls, there were girls from, you know, Poland. Spain, Poland, you know, opportunities that I can just speak for my child when she was here going to Essex public schools and things like that. She would have never gotten to meet a student that was from Ethiopia or Afghanistan or Croatia. Like she would have never gotten to meet them had she not been here. And so it definitely adds to the experience that we have locally to be able to see. And those girls came out into the community. You know, they volunteered at a lot of different stuff. So it's just real different.
And they were out at they were out at Soul by the River.
Yes.
They were out at Hot Mix out at In and Burger, which we did a show at In and Burger last week, and
we did karaoke together.
Karaoke. So you know, with the basketball team, I'm sure with the field hockey team too, that the teams are made up of international students, international athletes, and I felt that St. Margaret's itself created international all-star athletes where once they graduate, they could go anywhere.
Absolutely.
Anywhere, as far as, you know, sports, college, or anything. So that's the main thing.
But with our international students too, just to give you another example, one of our students that was from Afghanistan, she came here, and as you can imagine, the Afghan students, they don't have some privileges at home. They get here. That student had, when she graduated this year from St. Margaret's, she had a full ride to William & Mary and to the incidentals. So there's some opportunities that we have to not just pour into the internationals, but those opportunities
that's local.
Right, are just as prevalent to the local girls. So we have opportunities for them to be able to do things, for them to earn these same privileges, and help us really impact not just the international, but definitely also our domestic girls.
Yeah, and we all know, all three of us know how St. Margaret's is different. A lot of folks in the community knows how St. Margaret's is different. But for somebody that's watching that's kind of interested in St. Margaret's or was interested in St. Margaret's before all this closure happened, how will the school be different from other schools in the area?
Well, I think you're talking about for the new upcoming year. And
Yeah.
right now, like the foundation is working on giving music lessons
Right.
To students, and that's an opportunity that we don't have locally. We don't
Yes.
have the opportunity for and with the foundation, it's co-ed. So
Right.
because we don't have school back yet, so it gives an opportunity for everybody. But it's an opportunity for girls to be able to express themselves musically in an environment that is not, something for them to be afraid of, or have somebody, put them down, the peer pressure of them being different. And I think that that's the one thing that St. Margaret's has always done well. We perfected the art of changing girls into wonderful women.
Yeah, definitely. And when you guys actually try to get this open.
Yes, I like how you say that.
Yeah,
Yes,
when
you
you get this open,
Right, I
I'm not
love
going
it.
to say if you do.
Right.
I'm going to say when you do.
Speak it out.
Because we're speaking it out that
Right.
that this school is going to get open.
Yes.
Again. And what educational philosophy you guys going to want to guide through the curriculum and the teaching methods?
Absolutely. So, as I told you when I was there before, I was academic dean, and one of the things that we really were proud of is we taught a lot of critical thought.
Right.
So not just learn enough material to pass a test. That doesn't help you learn. So the art of learning to learn, and how do you carry that into college? Because college professors don't sit down and go, honey, here are your notes,
Yeah.
and do it this way. College professors go, here's how you research. Now go find out and take that information and apply it to what we're trying to help you learn. So St. Margaret's is different in the sense of, since it is private education, since we do encourage a thoughtful conversation in classrooms, they're definitely more prepared for what's really going to happen in college. Standards are different. There's still standards of learning, so I don't want to make it sound like that's not important. But in a way, it gives you a different step going into the future, as Jovita said, preparing them to be young women as the school opens, but also preparing them for opportunities. She mentioned the opportunity we have with our current music lessons. One of the things that we have is sculling.
Right.
That's one of the activities we're doing now.
Wow.
And as of right now, not only do we have sculling for our girls, but we are offering it for the community, and it's for the adults too. So it's not just kids, it's an opportunity for people to learn what it is to get in those little boats that nobody knows what they are. We were talking with some people at the trunk or treat, and they said they didn't even know the difference between rowing and sculling and what it looks like. And we have this beautiful river.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the community want to take advantage of that opportunity on the river, and that is something that was different and has been different about St. Margaret's.
And rowing, y'all did have a rowing team.
We had an incredible rowing team
Yes.
that actually won last year,
Yes.
even though they were brand new to the sport.
And did they win the championship?
They didn't win a championship, but they did win at regattas.
Right.
And so, and it was, I wouldn't say shocking because they worked hard at it, but they were a brand new team. So fresh
the
out of the
first
gate.
rowing team in this area.
No, we used to have rowing before at St. Margaret's,
Right.
but this is the first one since we've brought it back. And the coach that we have, Troy Howe, he's still coaching.
That's awesome.
His wife Kimberly Howe is his assistant coach, and they're well known in the community of rowing and sculling. And it's neat because he's excited. Hey, you want to learn? He'll take you out. So just the idea of being able to teach things. Jamie Barrick's doing the music lessons. He's taught for over 30 years, and he has such a heart for helping us get the school back open. Again, Troy and Kimberly too. Those are some people. And I also don't know one of the other unique things that we have that made us different, and we plan on having for the fall, is our college counseling.
Yes.
And college counseling is something
that's very important.
And when most people do college counseling, they do like this broad college counseling. Our college counselor, he's done it for years. His name is Blake Bruner. He's even doing a free thing for the community Thursday, right? This Thursday at the library. And it's about college matching. So a lot of people go, I want to go to this college, but you say, why? Well, it's because my brother went there, or my uncle went there. But sometimes you need to take a minute to go, what is it that you're seeking? And then be matched to the college of where you're going and guide your academics there. And us having a more individualized attention in college counseling is a huge difference.
Yes, it is.
To the traditional, and unfortunately that's because of the size of education.
Yeah.
But I think too, to answer your other question about like what we do different, is that the community, our kids are able to go out and experience things in the community with how close we are to town.
Definitely.
And with community, so they have opportunities. Like we had students that had internships with the local newspaper and with the town office, the museum. We had historic downtown. We even had one student that was working with Hot Mix to learn how to do different things. My daughter is now still at a boarding school, still at all girls, but they don't have that. She doesn't really get to be part of the community.
Right.
If you go to the town that's less than 5 minutes from them, and you're saying, like I've said something like, I'm visiting my daughter, she goes to school here. They're like, what school? Huh? They don't know that.
Wow.
Whereas here, our girls have an opportunity to do things that they won't be able to experience other places, because we can incorporate that. And that, I think that makes us different, because where else can you get to sit in a courtroom and see a case be tried, or go to a doctor's office and they let you come back? You can't do patients, but they let you see that so that you can explore it with the college counselor and say, you know what, I thought I wanted to do this and I got to see that, but now maybe what I really wanted to do was this.
Right.
And that's going to save them some time later on. And I think that's one of the things that's really different from us. I know it's one of the things that my daughter misses, which is the community.
Yeah, definitely. And the community with unity. And, you know, everybody knows who and what St. Margaret's is here. And I'm like me, I was shocked, really shocked, that all of a sudden it was announced it was closing. And even the sports community world, no matter where we were, no matter who or what anybody was in the sports community world, they were like, what? You just had a state championship. Why are you closing? This is like watching Sister Act 2. You know, when they went to the singing competition, they were trying to close them down, but they won, so they kept it open. So we were hoping that it would be kept open since it was a championship. Not only that, St. Margaret's been here for 140 years.
Right.
Why are you going to close this with tradition? And you have so many opportunities here for not only the local girls, but for girls that wants to come here.
Right.
And so that brings me to my next question. You know, fostering a culture, and you guys have to restart that after it closed. So what do you guys have planned for fostering a culture? What would be in you guys' mission statement as far as culture goes?
So I think that I'll take this one, because I think that I am the community cheerleader, I think, for around here. Actually, it's part of my new job title. So, but we're really big on being part of the community. The foundation is really big, even now that we're just the foundation of coming out. Like we were at Trunk or Treat. The foundation is going to have choir members. Some of the students from St. Margaret's previous are going to come back and sing at Christmas, to be in the Winterfest, to do the Christmas caroling at Christmas time. And so I think that we really are going to continue to foster that same community presence, because what we hear from our students is that that's one of the things that they miss the most.
Right.
Like they love the fact that they were in Tappahannock and they could walk down the street and go to the ice cream shop and the person knew who they were.
Yeah.
You know? And after a while, they might not have known exactly their name, but they knew that they were from St. Margaret's and they would keep an eye out for them. And so at the time, sometimes I think they didn't think that they liked them keeping the eye out for them. But now that they don't have that same thing, they miss it.
Oh, yeah.
They miss the community and the camaraderie and people being able, like, and the opportunities.
Right.
You know? How are you going, like, my daughter is 16. She's at Oldfield, but they needed somebody to do their play. They were looking for an adult to do lights and sound.
Yeah.
Couldn't find an adult to do lights and sound. And she says, I can do it. And they said, no, we need an adult to do lights and sound. And she said, I was trained how to do it at St. Margaret's. I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. And she did it for the Playhouse, and she could do it. And she
Yeah.
could do it because she had
And
the
she did it.
opportunities to do it here. She learned how to do it,
Right.
and she was confident in her ability to do it. And I think that's the same environment that we want to continue to foster. We want to foster where the community feels outraged that they're missing out, that they realize what they're really missing.
Yeah.
And continue the Episcopalian traditions
Right.
too. It will still have a faith base. It will still be connected.
And that's most important too is faith and wellness in
Right.
life.
Yes.
You know, they're getting like a what's the word I'm looking for? They're getting motivational life lessons through not only faith but you know through the community with unified. The whole community was unified when St. Margaret's was open.
Right.
Because they looked out for all these students.
Right.
And when you network like St. Margaret's did, I mean, the world of opportunities opens the doors.
Right.
And doors were open.
Yep.
So, folks, we need to get St. Margaret's back open.
We agree.
So,
100%.
what new, I ain't gonna say what impacts, but what newer impacts do you hope the school will have on students and the wider community? We just talked a little bit, but what's some of the newer impacts do you think that could come out with this?
So one of the things that we're really hoping is that we can work with the local schools to do a little bit more cross, I don't know what the right word is, but for instance, I'll use the example of athletics. Since we do have it, we have the water, we have the crew team, so forth, but we don't have necessarily a way to do track. And before the school closed, we had already started conversations about those opportunities. If we have a teacher that's really strong in this and it's a place that's lacking there, then we could support each other a little bit more that way. And that was going to be new for this year because we weren't allowed to do that before because of how we were owned. Being independent from that would allow us those privileges so that we can do that more and support the local schools with us. So it's not them and then us, it's us as a group and a whole. So that's one of the new things that would be different in how we would be able to approach it. And we're hoping not only for that opportunity to come up in sports, but also one of the things we were talking about was our girls being able to tutor the girls over there. Because, I mean, they can walk. They can walk right there to the elementary school and they're there, and it's not a far drive to get to the high school. So there's different opportunities there that we were hoping to definitely be more involved in this year.
Yeah, and independent equals more opportunity. So I like that.
It does.
You know, being independent from any other entity opens the doors for more opportunity, more things you can do, because you're not tied down to one organization.
Correct.
So that's one big key, folks, that the foundation is trying to do is being independent and a lot more opportunities for your students if they decide to come to St. Margaret's. And how will and can, because I'm going to say parents can and they will, like they did before, how can the parents and community get involved?
That's a great question. So we do have a website up and running that's new for us. It's www.smsontheriver.org. And you can go on there and look and see who we are, what we're about. It tells you about the 6 staff members. It tells you about our board members and who they are. We're trying to be as transparent as we can about the people that are involved in the mission. On there, it tells you if you're interested in information, you can. If you're interested in volunteering, you can. If you're interested in donating, you can. You can donate by PayPal or check or mail or even share your stocks if you want. So there's all kinds of ways to give that way, which is how we're funding what we're currently doing and making it so that we can hopefully acquire the campus again. In the meantime, you can also tell people about that we're up and going.
Yeah.
You can tell people that we're fighting for this, because people are still surprised that we're fighting for it. So we want to get that out.
I'm just shocked that the diocese closed this right after our championship. As a sports guy, it's something that you don't do.
Right.
Honestly. And, talking to even DC sports were talking about this.
Right.
That why in the world would you close a school that just won a championship and they're successful academically, obviously.
Right.
And don't give them the opportunity to defend the championship and among other things, give them more opportunities at least for one more year.
Right.
But it's one of those things where the whole community, I think this whole entire community is behind you guys.
I hope so.
On this.
Yeah.
So since you guys are now independent,
Yes.
so you have the opportunity to develop staff and teachers how you want to, and not be under that window of, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do
Correct.
the other. So do you guys have a plan for development, teacher development, staff development, and leadership?
Other pieces one of the other pieces that we're trying to do is work with licensed teachers in the area, and then have them work with us on the critical thinking piece and choosing curriculum that is not your standard curriculum. In other words, not just something that's just a book that you go through, but something that has the intermingling of the faith, and definitely interdisciplinary, that also focuses on the river. We just have such an opportunity with that river, and making it literally the river runs through it.
It's on the river, folks. Just saying.
Right. So just having the river, even when we were last year, we had already pumped it up a whole bunch. And one of the things that we were working on with the river studies was how does it work with every class? And one of our history classes took the kids out during class, they jumped on a boat and went out and did a history lesson and looked at the waterways to discuss what was the historical parts of the water. So
where else you can get that?
No, exactly.
I mean, honestly,
it's a unique way. So we definitely want to pump up that interdisciplinary, that river approach. We still want to keep our critical thought, because we believe in that, and then trying to figure out that balance of variety versus higher standard. Higher standard is where we go, instead of having 50 classes to offer, having 20 great classes to offer that make it so that the standard's high.
Yeah. How about that? That's good stuff there. That there is the interview's done. Okay, that right there. That's a drop the mic sort of thing.
Right.
So obviously you guys are going to run into some challenges. That's not a given. So what are the biggest challenges you guys anticipate for the first couple of years going into this?
Enrollment.
Money.
And money. Yeah. Enrollment and money. Simple things like we're doing the St. Margaret's Day.
Right.
So St. Margaret's is, was founded and based off of St. Margaret of Scotland.
Right.
And her traditional day of celebration this year is on November 16th. So even doing something small like that, thankfully St. John's has been so kind to us, and they're going to allow us to use their space.
That's amazing.
We're going to do a special celebration for that. But even in that, it takes resources to make that happen. Brings in the money piece of it. And then getting the word out to the girls to come to it. Right. Which we've been making phone calls and sending that out. And then that leads into next year. So what happens with next year is those girls, if we can keep connection with people that way, then we can get the information out a little bit more. But it's about going again into the community, telling them we're here, having the money to go into the community, telling them that we're here, having people visit the website, know what it is, just getting that information out.
And you just literally answered my next question about if the fundings were to run out, and you just said it, we're networking. we're going out there into the community and having sponsors to keep
Right.
this school open because it is that of importance. Not only that, it's a historical landmark.
Right.
104 years. I mean, you can't beat that.
Right.
And we have to strengthen the relationship with the parents because,
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of our families were devastated. They found out in July that their child didn't have a place to go for August.
Yeah, I didn't have a child in there, but I was devastated myself because.
And so, we've got to build them back up so that when we open
Right.
again, that they know that they can, they can rely on that fact and know that we're
Right.
going to be here. And I think for the first couple of years, as you said, it's going to be hard because
Right.
people still, even now with the foundation and we're offering classes and having certain things, we'll put out an advertisement to say we're having choir classes, or voice lessons and things like that. And people say, oh, I thought y'all were closed. So just educating people
Right.
that we're still here doing some things and to support us and that we are trying our hardest to be here. Like I understand. I mean, everybody that knows me knows that probably my daughter being this far away is like
Right.
one step
Yeah.
from me being like, ugh. But she had to make decisions that were best for her when she couldn't have something
Right.
that she really wanted. So it's just keeping their faith and knowing that we're here and keeping people engaged to want to fight along with us. I think that's the big thing too, is that we want them to stay engaged and want to be a part. As many people as we've educated in the last 104 years, they should have been outraged at
Right.
this.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have, and it's almost like sometimes like, we shouldn't have taken it laying down, and it should have made everybody mad.
Yeah. I mean, it's the traditions like this. If St. Margaret's were to close, why didn't the other private schools under this same entity didn't close either? What was it about St. Margaret's that they chose this school?
Oh, don't ask me that.
Yeah, I
question.
didn't. I'm not asking you, but it comes to everybody's mind. Why St. Margaret's?
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you didn't close the other schools, then you shouldn't have closed St. Margaret's, because 104 years, and you have people wants to come here and still want to be educated here in Tappahannock at the 104-year school at the state championship school. Okay, let me
that you got to come and do the radio.
The state championship school that is given all kinds of opportunities already.
Right.
But there's a new opportunity now.
Yes.
So the new opportunity that I feel is going to be very, very even more exciting. So you didn't close, but you continued a new tradition.
I like to think that God has purpose.
Right.
That's the only way I can personally
Right.
make sense of it, and I know that's the only way that Valorie and I can make sense of it, because we're usually about one step from crying most of the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like he has a purpose, and that there's a door to open that is going to make it greater. Like there's going to be a story to be told.
Right.
And I just look forward to what that's going to, what that's
Yes.
going to be and what that's going to look like. It's right now, I guess, when you're in the middle of it, it's just an emotional and
Yes.
thing, because people feel like, oh well, that was so long ago, but this is still like a recent
Right.
scab that's just
It
still, it's hard. It's hard to understand something that you really can't understand. And
Right.
I think that's just,
And the girls still reached us. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
obviously her daughter reaches out to her, but her daughter reaches out to me.
Right.
And there are other girls, especially international students. Last year we found a lot of them host families.
That's good.
But those families were connected to St. Margaret's.
Right.
So now these international girls, it's coming up on holidays that don't give them enough time to go back to their countries.
Yeah.
So we're hosting our girls from last
That's
year in
great.
our
That's
homes for
amazing.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is, it's great, but then, we have to give them back. We want to give them back.
Yeah,
We want to hold them.
And just so you guys know, some of these girls' countries are dealing with natural disasters.
Absolutely.
Just like in CBC
Yeah, Cayman
right
Islands.
now.
We were watching our
In the-
girls from there.
In the Philippines,
Right.
there's a lot of flooding going on.
Right.
And not only that, but Puerto Rico and down in Jamaica, there was stuff going on there from storms, and you don't know what these girls are going through in their home countries, and just for you guys to be hosting them, and that's something special right there. That's something that I think St. Margaret's has that no one else doesn't. Right there is a camaraderie of students and teachers and mentors, not only just students, teachers, and mentors, but you become a instant family,
Absolutely.
so to speak.
We do. I
So-
mean, you saw how our girls took your girls in at
Yes,
karaoke
yes, they
night. Your
did.
daughters were like, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, come on. you're
Yeah,
gonna be,
Amanda, which everybody thinks that she is like 15 or 16. No, she's 19.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, no, but I said, they're going to grab you.
Right.
They're going to drag you onto the stage, and they're going to get you to sing with them. She didn't believe me, but she got up there, so I was proud of her. Yeah,
They're instantly friends,
Yes.
like they want people to feel welcome. They want them to be included. They don't want to let one of their sisters be sitting there and not have somebody. And so they include them in everything. When they see a child sitting by themselves, they reach out and grab them and bring them in and find something that they, can be a part of.
right.
And now they're all separated from
Yeah.
each other and trying to figure out how to still hold on to that bond. And that probably rips our hearts out more than anything.
Yeah, it's hard for me to let go of a daughter that wants to head on out because she's obviously of age, and I definitely feel that.
We could talk about it well.
Now I got a grandbaby on the way in December, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here, I'm still in my 40s. The grandkids are supposed to come until their 60s, but very, very exciting stuff. So let's talk about long-term goals of what is the goals? What can we see in the next 5 years of how to not only just 104 years, but going into 200 years?
I'll start because I just feel like Jovita touched on it a little bit. St. Margaret's going to close has been a conversation that was not just this year. Let's keep that real. That was going around, and then, oh no, they're good, and then no, they're closing, they're good, and then it kept going. And I think that because we went through those roller coaster times so much, that we lost a lot of that longevity of people feeling confident that they could trust that the girls would be there and be there for, like you said, until 200 years, right?
Yeah.
They want to get it to that point. So the long-term goal is, one, the immediate short-term, I should say, is to acquire the campus, get the school going.
Yes.
But once that is established, once we get past that hurdle, we are very thankful. We have a lot of big angel donors that are willing to help get us up and going.
Yeah.
But the goal is to get it so that we don't have to have those conversations.
Exactly.
We don't want to have to say to them, oh, it's going to be another year. Are we worried about it? We want to say with confidence, hey, you can plan to bring your daughter in 8th grade and know that she's going to graduate here from 12th grade because there's no concern of what's going to happen in between. And then just to keep expanding. Like you said, we had international girls. 30% of our population was international last year. 16 different countries were represented.
Wow.
Several different languages were represented. I think that we want to expand. Yes, domestic is definitely something we want to work hard on. Definitely expanding our day student population. That's something that's dear to my heart because I was a day student.
Yeah.
So for me, that reaches home for me. But we really want to expand the academic abilities that we have. We want to expand the sports, like the Scullion Academy that we're working on. We want our music program. When I was a student at St. Margaret's, my music teacher, man, she was hardcore. I remember doing plays and piano and voice.
Yeah.
And she was sending me to music camps on the summer, and like she was wonderful, and she made such a huge impact in my life, along with some of the other teachers.
I would love to see a St. Margaret's marching band.
I would love it, and our
That'd
music teacher would love it. Jamie
Yeah.
would love to expand out into the marching band, into the instruments and dance, and like just expand, because there's so much opportunity that we really don't have the privilege of enjoying as much in Essex County because of the isolation of the community. And not just Essex. I mean, the Middle Peninsula, all in Northern Neck, it's a struggle that all of us are fighting. And we do have a lot of up and coming cool things in this area. Like I said at one of the most recent meetings, I have dietary limitations.
Yeah.
We now have Rise and Shine in Warsaw that has that. That's a really great opportunity. We have lots of cool restaurants opening up. The special restaurants that even opened recently, Maltese being a brewing company, Fitzgerald's being, a new, just something different and new. So I think we have so many things coming, but if we could make St. Margaret's a part of that growth and it be more than just the all-girls boarding school, it'd be just blown up. That's what I would like to see as the goal.
People flocking to see St. Margaret.
Not just St. Margaret's, but this special area.
The whole area, And Tappahannock is getting to be a very amazing cultural vibe.
Right.
And just with Soul by the River, another broken record this past fall of people being there.
Yep.
And, they were all talking about St. Margaret's. So I'd love to see St. Margaret's open again. And now you're bringing in these independent artists that's from Atlanta, from Baltimore, from wherever. So they will get to see St. Margaret's too.
Absolutely.
So it's a major opportunity, folks. And a foundation does cost, ladies and gentlemen. It does cost to run a school, okay? This place has been here for 104 years. And I fully support them staying here, okay? Because not only that, opportunity, like they said, opportunities academically, opportunities for mentorship, and these ladies can go to the elementary schools and do tutoring programs, like you said, and rowing. How about that?
Right.
Rowing, field hockey,
right?
Maybe marching band.
We're great this year. I was watching Northumberland. They did great, so I'd like to give them something for their fight.
They would. There'd be more than with the only one team being around here, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to see St. Margaret's again, so they won't have to travel as far.
Right.
Basketball, obviously.
Right.
And so in track, like you said.
Right.
And is so many opportunities, folks, but they need your help. Okay.
Absolutely.
They definitely need your help. And if the community, not just Tappahannock, folks, but the entire Northern Neck area, Middle Peninsula area. Heck, I know I have folks in Richmond. I know I have folks internationally that is actually watching right now or listening or what have you. Guys, support St. Margaret's. And not only that, we talked about the long term. We talked about the school to continue to operate. How can parents get involved in the community? So where can people find more information and get involved in getting this place open again?
So the best place to go is on our website, the SMSontheriver. .org is the best place to reach us and get involved. All the programs, all the information, even, hey, just sign me up to get emails is on there. So that's the easiest and fastest way. If you want to see us in person, we're going to be, like I said, at St. John's on November 16th. We're having a welcome reception, not just for St. Margaret's alum, it's for the community.
Right.
It's for a celebration of the St. Margaret for that day. We're going to have the bagpiper.
How about that?
Our bagpipers coming out, bring our traditions back. We're excited to have her come back in and help us walk into a procession first service that will start at 12:30 for a Eucharist service. So we welcome people to come see us.
Thursday?
Oh, yes.
What's happening Thursday?
Thursday's the free event at the library
Okay.
for people that want to talk to Blake and learn
Right.
about college opportunities. He can help with financial aid. He can help with college matching. He can help with college essay writing. There's all kinds of things that he can do to get you pumped up and ready. And then, of course,
And it's no cost. It's no cost
no
for
cost.
the
It's
parents.
free, okay?
Right, and so they can come out, get to be able to participate. Too often we have things,
Right.
at the library and different things, and people don't take advantage of it.
Right.
And they always are asking like, "Oh, your child goes to private school. How can you afford that?" Da 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 da. This is how. Financial aid,
Free.
grants, things like that.
Right.
But you gotta apply. You gotta put, some little effort
Right,
in. And
yeah.
this is an opportunity to find out about those chances without any kind of cost.
Right, yeah.
So it's great for them to come out. They'll see us for a Winterfest.
Yes.
Oh,
On
yeah,
December
I was about to
6th.
ask that.
Winterfest will be there.
Yeah.
We're gonna lead the caroling. Our music teacher is getting
about
along
that?
and families and people together. They're even going to the Sunday before St. John's again graciously is opening their doors for us to do a practice sing, which is more about the community just getting
Yeah.
ready to sing and prepare for what's coming up, since that will happen. And we'll follow the Christmas mother in.
Christmas Mama, folks, for Winterfest.
We'll follow the Christmas mama.
Well, I want to know, will there be ice skating? Will there be the
There will
synthetic
not be
skating?
ice skating this year. Okay. Now, everybody asks me about that every year, if there's going to be ice skating. And so what I can say to the community is that if they want ice skating, they have to be able to support ice skating.
You guys hear that right?
Okay, so I'm a math
Don't let me
teacher.
down, okay?
I'm a math teacher, okay? And so I run the town organization the same way I do math.
Right.
1 + 1 has to equal 2.
Yes.
So in the past, we spent almost $10,000 for ice skating, but people came and only used about 2,000 of the resource. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
it doesn't balance out for
Yeah.
us to use those funds for that. So we won't have ice skating, but we will have bowling. We will have the game trucks. We
How
will
about
have
that?
bounce houses. At the Unity for Community and other things, because they will be able to buy their wristbands for only $5. So people can't say they didn't have an opportunity. We're going to have several opportunities.
$5, y'all.
For $5,
Jump
so
on
they
that.
can do all of that. And then we're going to have the parade this year
Right.
the same day, which is
How about
different for Tappahannock.
Yeah.
So listen carefully, guys. Like, it's the same day. It's on December 6th. So at 4:30, the parade's going to go through, and we are hoping that everything works out. Sometimes
Right.
that's the regional games and
Yes.
everything for football, and so it gets all messed up. But we are prayerful that everything works, and so we can have the parade and the band and the football team, and everybody can come and be part of that.
Yeah.
On a float, not Coach Jones. I did not say this supposed to walk, but on a float. And have the community have an opportunity to come, together
Right,
and
yeah.
really be able to celebrate Christmas. This is the 50th anniversary of the Christmas parade for Essex County.
Ooh.
And so it's a big
50
deal.
years,
You look
y'all.
great for being 50.
Thank you. And so it's golden memories. That's what the
that's
perfect.
that's what the theme is. And so it's celebrating the golden year and memories at Christmas time, and an opportunity for families and the community to come back and connect. And I think that just kind of goes with St. Margaret's and what we're doing. So
Right.
it all just kind of fits together.
Yeah, so guys, get involved if you have a business. Now, I don't care what business you've got. I don't care if it's a hotel, restaurant, what have you. Support the St. Margaret's Foundation, guys, because we got to get this school back open, all right? We got to get them supported so we can get the girls back here, and those that is looking to get into St. Margaret's, if you're in the Northern Neck area, surrounding areas and whatnot, they are ready. They are ready to rock, okay? They're ready to get some competition going as far as sports going too, all right?
Yep.
So,
Ready to help tutor?
yes, tutor.
Yep. Everybody's needing help.
Yes,
We got math
definitely.
teachers, English teachers,
Music
available,
teachers.
music teachers.
Music.
So, let us know. We're just, we're sitting here. We want to be a part of the community, and we want to help out.
So, one more time, let them know where they can contact you and, follow you guys and how they can donate and get involved to get this school back open that we love so much.
Okay, so website, www.smsontheriver.org. Email, themonday@smsontheriver.org. That's our new interim head,
Cool.
Or you can email me, jkelly@smsontheriver.org. We have a Facebook page,
Instagram
page.
How about that?
They can share their stories if they're alum. That helps. What St. Margaret's means to you. We want to hear them. And, even sending us an email to say if there's somebody has an idea or something that they remember that they did in school and they want to see it come back, or something that they really enjoyed while they were here. We'd love to hear that while we're planning for the upcoming season. So let us know. And then just keep supporting, follow it and share it with your family and friends and support us and keep it out there. And when we go to court, come.
Show up for this foundation, guys, because this is highly, highly important. Valorie, Jovita, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for because this is a treat, and I've been quiet for the longest time about this. I want St. Margaret's back open, okay? All right, I'm just saying because too many opportunities are being missed for being closed. So, guys, help them get this place back open. 104 years of tradition, okay? Not only tradition, but a legacy. And the legacy continued, and history was even made. History was even being more made with the basketball team, okay? So we need to continue some more history here at St. Margaret's, all right? So please support the St. Margaret's Foundation. And whether if you're watching here on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, on TikTok Live, wherever you may be watching from, or listening on the audio later on, thank you guys so much. And on behalf of myself, Will Lewis, on Hot Mix BA, Travis Harris, Giles Scott, Coach Thomas Rowe, Coach Sammy Mills, Woman to Woman Show, Hot Mix BA, WillzWorld Radio Show, No Next Sports Talk Live. We thank you so much for tuning in tonight with the St. Margaret's Foundation. Guys, I'm looking forward to this because we're going to do this again as an update of where it is. Maybe 5 months from now or something. Maybe 5 or 6 months from now after all the events, see how it went. And then we're going to try to get some more sponsors for you guys.
That's great.
That's what is needed right now, guys. So businesses in and around the North Neck area. Hey, look, times are tough, I know, but we have opportunity here to support young ladies for their future. Absolutely. So that's what this is all about here for the St. Margaret's Foundation. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you soon. Hopefully we will talk to you at some point this week on No Next Sports Talk Live. As far as the WillzWorld Radio Show, we will talk to you on Thursday night right here, live. We'll talk to you in a couple of nights. So we'll see you later. See you soon.
Okay.